know, you girls have really given me a lot to think about. Thanks.
It's been a pretty long time since we had a bona fide Scream 7 update, so let's recap some of the rumors and fan theories that have been posted just in the past few months here. Scream 8 may already be in the works, Marco Beltrami is back to score this new flick, and there's some new theories floating around that suggest this new entry is definitely going to try something new. Alright, let's get into it. Hey everybody, I'm Killjoy Jake, and instead of having friends, I have horror movies. Let's kick off this update with a quote from Sidney Prescott's new husband, Joel McHale, or in the film, his name is Mark Evans, the whitest name I have ever heard. Responding to a fan on Reddit about working on the set for the new film, Joel said Kevin Williamson is the GOAT. Neve Campbell and Courtney Cox are true movie stars, generational talents. So blessed that I got to work with them. Jasmine is so great, so lucky to work with her more than once now. Joel McHale is also on Yellow Jackets. I haven't gotten that far in the series yet, so please no spoilers. It is great to hear about how much fun they had making this movie, however, which definitely bodes well for the film overall. Speaking of which, a Scream 8 is rumored to be moving forward after this one comes out. It's said to be another Sidney story taking place after the events of 7. It does make me wonder though if we're still getting that Kirby movie that was floating around Production Weekly a while back. I really hope so, because I'm curious to see what Detective Reed has been doing since 2023. She's also like the only Scream character who's not returning for Scream 7 at this point. What's going on there? I feel like they have to be doing some sort of spin-off movie with her to explain why she's not here in this film. We might have even more previous Scream cast members joining the franchise sometime soon, however, as Sarah Michelle Gellar just said this in a recent interview.
You were in Scream.
No, the new one. They were bringing everybody back. I kept thinking I would get a call. I didn't get a call.
Usually I wouldn't even be bringing something like this up. We have had many actors from Scream's past talk about wanting to return even though their characters are dead, but considering the current trajectory of the franchise, I wouldn't be shocked if they found a way to base Scream 8 off of CC Cooper somehow. Don't forget SMG was present on the set of the new I Know What You Did Last Summer and may even be returning for that Buffy revival series. Scream just got Matthew Lillard back, who's having a career renaissance right now. Why not have SMG back too? I'm sure this franchise would be all about that these days. It was also recently confirmed that Marco Beltrami will return to score the 7th installment, which is my favorite update in today's video. Beltrami's score for the original Scream film is one of my favorites in horror history, baby. And I definitely feel that the 5th and 6th installments were missing something without it. Not to throw any shade towards Brian Tyler though. I actually really like a few of the tracks on Scream 6 in particular, but nothing beats the iconic sounds of the original film. Music is one of the most important and sometimes underappreciated elements to a good horror flick, so it's good to know that Scream 7 is in the right hands. Before we talk about some really exciting Scream 7 fan theories, I do want to point out that this week I'll be posting a video playing as Ghostface in the new Dead by Daylight 2v8 event over on my gaming channel, GullGotha. Make sure to check out that page and subscribe. I'm uploading horror gaming content there weekly, and the live streams have been a ton of fun.
Dude, I was about to come and you just stopped me.
What?
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 I'm just proving the fact that these are weirder than the regulars.
Yeah, you're definitely proving that right now. Now, there's been some Scream 7 theories floating around recently that I found really interesting. To preface this, I feel like there's two big sides to the Scream fandom right now, and it all boils down to one argument. Some folks want to see this franchise take a new direction with its characters, while others are clamoring for a new Sidney story. Interestingly enough, the one thing I feel like everybody agrees on is we want to see Ghostface have a new motive, something that's incomparable to anything we've gotten before in the past. A ton of theories have popped up regarding that in the fandom, and I kind of want to share a piece of information that I've been hiding for a little while here. I want to keep this vague, but I've heard from a few of my sources at this point that the Ghostface reveal this time around is going to be different than anything we've seen before in this franchise. And while I have my concerns about the film, this has me intrigued. I have a lot of respect for Scream 6, diving into new territory for the slasher series, having the most amount of killers in one movie, featuring a groundbreaking opening scene, and building upon the characters from the 5th installment in fruitful ways. Not all of it works for me. We've dissected those last two films a lot on this page, but I did really appreciate that the 6th installment was able to find a way to get so punk rock again in such a modern way. Based on what I know about 7, I can guarantee you the reveal this time around is going to feel very similar to that of Scream 6's. I already think I'm saying too much here, but although many elements of this flick seem to be reverting back to the original, I know for a fact that the reveal here this time around around is a swing for the fences. A lot of you have been close on your predictions regarding this reveal. I've been wanting to say something, but I'm holding my tongue for now. On a final note here, I've been pretty reluctant to talk about Scream on this page lately because I just don't feel the same hype or energy as the last two films. Going into the last two flicks, it felt like anything could happen, where I just don't have that same creative spark with this new film to come up with as many theories. They gave away a lot of the surprises during the production of this film, which feels like they just don't even want fans to come up with theories and basically give the film free marketing. And these updates have made the film feel like it's going to be fan service the movie, essentially another Five Nights at Freddy's, and that's just not something that excites me regarding the Scream franchise, which is supposed to be making fun of films like Five Nights at Freddy's. That's even confirmed by a new quote from one of the cast members. Regarding the early announcement that many dead cast members would be returning to this film, Matthew Lillard recently stated, "I was not supposed to be announced until the trailer, but I think that we were all pretty conscious of the fact that the people are going to start paying attention to that general area. So sneaking me in and sneaking me out would have been very difficult. So eventually we broke the news before I got a chance to leak." See, there are just so many inherent problems with that, in my opinion. There are many things that make a great Scream film, and we've talked about these elements a lot on this page, but one of them is you have to shock and surprise your audience. I would argue that is a near impossible task with the same old characters. This quote here exactly outlines that. With how advanced modern technology has become, you simply can't sneak actors onto sets, otherwise something would leak, which is why this production was forced to make that announcement. Knowing that though, wouldn't it have just been easier to create a twist revolving around new characters that we weren't already familiar with? Now that we know that Scott Foley, Matthew Lillard, and David Arquette are all going to reprise characters from the past, we basically know that they're going to be doing some sort of flashback sequence that calls back to the original, like literally every single franchise entry has done recently. My prediction is we already know a lot of the big surprises for this film, and that's the production's fault, not some leakers. Now, admittedly, this is not the first time that the modern Scream films have spoiled a big surprise in their own movie. Scream 5 notoriously posted a bunch of pictures with the cast and crew outside of that recreation of Stu's house, and then it played as a surprise in the film, which was kind of bizarre to me. All of those early announcements are just the same thing, but in my opinion, way worse. Why would they be showing us a flashback scene to something that probably happened in 1995 or even 1996 prior to the events of the original Scream if it wasn't going to affect the story here in 2026? Obviously, a lot of this is speculation, but I would bet my bottom dollar on the fact that we probably have most of the big Scream 7 twist figured out at this point, and there's probably not even a rough cut of the film assembled right now. That is a major problem for this franchise in particular. But really, it all boils down to the fact that it's just really tough to come up with a shocking new story with the same old characters. It's not that these characters suck. I love them. They're iconic. Sidney Prescott is my favorite final girl of all time. It's a hill I'm gonna die on. She's better than Laurie Strode in every single regards. Sorry, Halloween fans. But as a huge Scream fan, I would hate to see these characters utilized in a subpar twist when they're already a part of some of the very best in horror history. Like I said, this is all speculation, and it's way too early to guess what is actually going to happen in Scream 7, unless you are one of the cast members or people part of the production who do know. Hopefully y'all have signed some NDAs, and your boy here is gonna keep an open mind until we see a first trailer. I can't stress this enough, nothing would make me happier than to be wrong on this, but I don't think I am. Hey everybody, before we wrap up today's video, please make sure to subscribe to this channel for more updates on upcoming horror flicks. Thank you all for 34,000 subs too. Also, check out my merch store for some very sick Wes Carpenter inspired t-shirts and crew necks. The link for my Fourth Wall store is in the description of this video. So in this calm before the storm, before we get a first trailer for Scream 7, how are you guys feeling about the film right now? Are you excited for the entry that will feature the return of Sidney Prescott? God, I hope she's a badass in this flick. Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you all again for watching, please subscribe, and as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.